Alright, welcome back. This is Bike Talk episode 34, where I review roast your bikes. And yeah, let's get into it. First up is Maya. And she says, "Hi Gary, my husband Jake and I love watching your channel. Thanks, Maya, especially the roasts. Jake just recently did up an old Mighty Fox bike and rode the Green Divide around the Netherlands. It's our 2-year anniversary, a gift to us both. Would you please roast Jake's bike? Thank Joel." Maya. Alright, happy 2-year anniversary. I hope I do it in time, but I think this one was sent 23rd of August, so yeah, might be a bit late, but here we go. So yeah, this is her husband's bike. Alright, here it is. Gotta give it to you. People love watching my roast channels, which I appreciate, but look at this. 2 empty bottle cages, pedal not straight, crank arm not straight, empty saddlebag, empty basket not horizontal, rack not horizontal, literally breaking all the rules right here. I don't know if she actually just sent this in as a joke. Okay, overall pretty sick setup. Got kind of like a fake Rivendell Steez setup with an old small frame, which is longer, I guess, but it seems also quite tight here between the saddle and the handlebars, so maybe the riding position's a little tight or very straight up. Maybe good for Netherlands. Pretty cruisy. The running, yeah, 3x7. Everything looks pretty clean. Matching rims, matching tires. Got the Swift Industry bag in brown. Overall, pretty sweet. I think most of the European bikes I've seen are pretty classy with just what they pick with their tones. Kind of like brown with lighter brown and yellow, not overkill, and or silver. Nice grips matching the saddle. Even the even the straps here match. So yeah, this volley strap as well as the yellow matching it all. Pretty nice work, I gotta say. Upgraded salmon pads here as well. Cool Stop salmon pads, always a favorite. Let's see what else we got. Cool, a little wolf alert. It's always cool to see what other countries' alerts other countries have, because in Australia we usually get snakes. But yeah, wolves would probably, I feel like wolves would be pretty gnarly. I feel like they would tend to attack you more, or at least they can run after you. Snakes can't run after you. Alright, here it is, all packed up for the photo. You can see tires are completely clean, pedals are clean, no dirt anywhere. So pretty sure Jake just dressed this up for show. Everything looks super clean here. Even these sandals look these look brand new. So yeah, must be a new day out. But you can tell Jake is the type of guy not to put his bike on the road. He wants to put it on the dirt for extra off-road points. Oh yeah, this is Jake. Good looking dude. Seems pretty happy. Typical biker, I guess. Running kind of like a lightweight shirt and lightweight pants. Again, these tones match his bike, so pretty good. Got to roast him for these shoes. Solomon XT. I feel like these are XT9s or something like that. I don't really know, but I feel like these are kind of overplayed. So yeah, got to roast you for that. And again, roasting you for the clean tires here. I'm going to roast you for this strap not being hooked up. Pink light doesn't match, and pink light also goes straight into the saddlebag, so I don't know how that works. Let's see what else we got. Alright, helmet. I would say the helmet doesn't match because it's slightly off tone. I think this is like a neon greenish, and then this is straight yellow, so slightly off with the helmet. Got a few stickers here. He is actually riding off-road, so respect that. But you can see his tires are still really clean. Alright, another clean tire again. Upside down here, fixing his bike. Got a flat. Alright, he's got some dirt on the side, so definitely riding it here and not just a setup for a pick. But it's pretty funny. You can see his he put 2 sticks here. I'm not sure why, to kind of prop his bar up. Not sure why that is. I first thought he put these sticks here so he didn't scratch the handlebars, but I feel like these would just scratch the handlebars more. Alright, same pick again. Same pick again. Same pick again. Same pick again, same pick again. Alright, overall pretty sick bike. Yeah, this is super sweet. Nice one. Looks like it rides well. I love the matching bronze kind of cabling. I feel like that's super nice. Alright, that's it. Thanks for saying that, Maya. Happy anniversary. Cheers. Alright, next up we got Cameron. Cameron said roast in his subject, and he said, had to Google how to convert these photos to JPEG for you, King. Love your videos, roast away. I feel like aren't most photos default to JPEG, but I don't know. You can just send it in email. If you send it in email, usually they show up. All right, he said roast. So first roast. Gonna roast him for his bottle being too big. When you look at this bike, it's just straight bottle. Running 3x7 again here. Flat pedals, got some tire upgrades, pretty nice. Kenda 8 block, I think this is called. Got new Velocity rims, matching tires. This is a pretty sick build overall. Gonna roast him for this funny looking sticker. Looks like the dog's stoned. So Cameron's trying to tell you something, tell you a little bit about his habit. Nice little setup here, missing a spacer right on this quill stem, so a couple of points off from that. Cables look nice, saddle looks good. This blue like thing, reflectors upside down. Got a little damage on the saddle, but that's a given. Got the overplayed grip here with the twine, going a little too hardcore with that, I think. Here's the setup. Looks pretty sick. I feel like it's a pretty sick bike overall. I do like this stem. I have it on one of my bikes, and with the swept back bars, look good. These take 22.2, so these look like Doom bars maybe, or some type of moto bar. I feel like these would be custom bars. Can't tell what they are. Running friction shifters here, pretty sick. Here it is at night. It looks like he's got dual reflectors here. Can't tell if that's just a photo. Kind of suspect on where he is right here. Looks kind of like a Blair Witch Project type of deal. I don't know. Yeah, this looks sketchy because it's like a broken fence, but then why would you break in here? It's kind of too scary to ride. He's got his bike on the work stand, full of dirt, so yeah, respect it. No bottle cage, crank arm not straight. Yeah, cable work looks good. Thumb shifters on the right, on the inner side. That's pretty cool. Salmon pads again. These seem to be a favorite. And yeah, that's basically it. I think pretty sick overall. There's not too much to roast. Everything looks pretty good. Quick releases on the right side. Brakes are set up pretty nice. And yeah, overall this is pretty sick setup. I think if anything, it's just like this is more bottle than bike than anything else. But yeah, he must get pretty thirsty when he's doing his thing. Alright, thanks Cameron, thanks for sending. Alright, next up is Michael, or Mikhail, and he says, "Hi Gary, I always want to build a bike. This is his first attempt, and he just wants a normal review. And greetings from Poland. Hi Mikhail, or Mikhail. Overall, pretty sick for the first build. Super cool stance, it looks fast, and looks like it can go off-road, single speed here. I've always wanted to try this AliExpress chain tensioner. It looks super sick. It looks like a little bit off like most AliExpress stuff, but it does look like it will work pretty well with the 2 jockey wheels, and it's full CNC machined, so nice, good, cheap choice there. Gear ratio looks pretty good, looks pretty fast. I like this thick slicks. They should go fast too. Crank arm not straight, no bottle cage. Running dual brakes. Cabling work looks good. Riding position also looks good. Yeah, overall pretty sick. Pretty nice aesthetic overall. Got the blue caps. Kind of customize it, match the blue grips. Yeah, overall pretty sick. I feel like that's 3 out of 3. That's gonna have nice bikes already. Usually for all the normal watches or the frequent watches, that's not always the case. So thanks Michael, thanks for setting. Super nice for first build. Could be a 20th build or something. Looks good. Alright, next up is Crash Bunny. Hey Gary, your video on removing seat posts remind me of this legend, blah blah blah. Okay, this is not a bike check video. Okay, next up is Dylan. Wants a roast. Yo! Another person that says yo. Wouldn't mind getting bars similar to your orange Wicked. Any recommendations? So the bars I have on my orange bike is Wild 898. I have a bar video. Check it out if you want to see it closer. Yeah, tons of people ask me, but yeah, you can always check them out on my bar video. Love your vid. Cheers. Cheers, Dylan. Alright, so he wants to roast. Alright, this is a pretty sick bike. I would say it's going to be a pretty big shame because you're taking this surfing. I feel like it's going to get sand, it's going to get corroded, it's not going to look as nice by the end of it, but yeah, at the moment it's brand new, looking pretty sick. Surfboard looks pretty good. This looks like about a 6-footer. Don't know about the sticker. I feel like you're not sponsored, so you can probably take these stickers off. Got a little cut in the tail for cutbacks, I guess. But yeah, it looks pretty sweet. Like the rack on the front, no bottom bottle cage, crank arm not straight, rear mech cable bent backwards. And then I feel like you're making the best out of a bad situation here with this front end as well. I've done that before. But yeah, I wonder what it's like to ride with the surfboard on one side. Wonder how that goes. But yeah, overall pretty sick. This is, I feel like this is, I'm going to take a guess. This is in Brisbane. It could be Brisbane or could be, according to the trees, could be, yeah, it's got to be Brisbane, I feel like. Brisbane or Sydney maybe. But yeah, you can tell it's in Australia because it's got one of these crazy hang drying racks where it spins 360. But yeah, it's got some nice plants going on here as well. I feel like your fence needs a little bit more work. I'm not sure what you're trying to fence off here, but it's kind of half done. I feel like you could raise it up at least to the top. This one seems a little bit loose, so yeah, I can fix that up. But yeah, overall pretty sick setup. I like to see this after it's been ridden a few times to see how it holds up for the surf, just with the salt and everything. I don't know if you have to wipe it down every time, but yeah, that probably kind of bug me a little bit because it attracts rust. So yeah, super nice bike for taking to surf. Just take care of it and yeah, it should be fine. Thanks, Dylan. Thanks for sending. All right, next up is Nicholas, and Nicholas says, "Hey, Gary, greetings from Berlin. Thanks for videos. Cheers, mate." Here's the latest one. It's a German bike, and there was just some more information. Quiz time. There's one thing I did wrong. Can you notice the error and correct after taking the photos? Kind of regards, Nicholas. Okay, so Nicholas is kind of roasting himself again, realizing that he did something wrong, but then didn't take the photos again. So I feel like this is kind of just a little bit of a cheeky kind of cop out. Nicholas didn't say roast or review, so I guess we'll just have to take it pretty easy. Yeah, overall pretty good. Non-drive side shot to start off with. Resting his bike on the pot here is probably not too good, but yeah, just be careful with your rear mech here. You don't want to do that. You don't want to damage it or misalign it. Hard to fix. But yeah, overall pretty sick. Looks pretty fast, like the 700Cs. Swept back. Riding position looks pretty good. Crank arm is straight. Bars look pretty good. I've used similar before. Good for kind of like a 700C commuter going through traffic and stuff, a little bit thinner. These grips also look cool. I like that. Same with the levers. Running Mavic on the front, some other wheel on the back. Looks like head. Mishi brakes. Looking good. Rosy grips. Rose grips. Micro shift. Shifter. Paint looks really sick, I think. Nice paint there. Yeah, overall pretty sick. I'd say, yeah, his mistake would probably be like the quick release being on the wrong side. But yeah, overall pretty sweet build. Cable slightly too long. This is really nothing, but yeah, looking good. Look sweet. Nice job. Thanks, Nicholas. Thanks for sending. Nice bike. Cheers. All right, next up is Henry. Henry said, "Big fan channel. Thanks, Henry." Here's his dad bike and says, "Rate this bike." And he said roast in his subject. So let's take a look. Okay, first roast sent from iPhone. If you're still leaving this on your signature in 2025, definitely got some issues there. Head tube angle, probably too slack, looks a little bit funky. Reflectors still on here. Dog disc still on. No bottle cages. Definitely if you're riding with your kid, you're definitely going to get thirsty or they're going to get thirsty. So definitely need bottle cages here. Looks like he's only got a bottle mount on the down tube though. That's interesting. Yeah, not too much to roast on this one. Looks like he just sprayed it with water. You can see the back of the fence. Must have been pretty dirty. Gave it a quick clean before taking some photos. But yeah, looks good. Not too much to it. I'd say this front reflector, I don't normally run them, but if you run a reflector, I feel like this one's a little bit bent compared to the back. Overall, good dad bike. Nice solid dad bike. Probably heavy, but yeah, it'll last. Love the little pant chain ring protector on here as well. That's pretty cool. All right, thanks for sending, Harry. Appreciate it. All right, next up is Sunny, and he said, "Roast me, bro. Long time listener, first time caller. Roast me to a crisp. Love your stuff, by the way." Thanks, Sunny. All right, first roast gotta be no bottle cage. Yeah, just a classic, just too easy. Gonna roast you for these tires. Tamor tires, wrong brown, not looking good. Lock is probably not good as well. Just kind of ruins the aesthetic of the bike, I think, when it's wrapped like this. Spaces under the stem, which is good. I think that looks good. So that's a couple points back. Good work on the kickstand here. I think the kickstand is good. Nice saddlebag. Seat is slammed all the way back. So I feel like you could use maybe a set back seat post here. Let's see what else we got. Here's the front pick, running Dior, empty accessory mount. Gonna start dinging people for those as well. Overall, pretty nice frame. I like how this kind of faded with the faded. I think it used to be neon orange maybe, but it faded to like a salmon color, which is quite cool. Back pick here. Bars look a little bent, but it just could be the photo. I feel like it's just a photo, so no problems there. Overall pretty sick. But yeah, overall pretty sick. I think pretty sick setup overall. I guess the last roast would have to be this sent from sent from your Galaxy. That's definitely, I don't know if this is like just making fun of the iPhone thing, or you really want to rep your Galaxy hard. Either way, both of them not a good look. So yeah, thanks for sending, Sunny. All right, next up is Ma, and said, because the frame is from 2020, it's packed in from Europe, Germany. All right, just roast it. All right, so first roast, gray bike picture, black bike picture against a gray black-ish kind of background. Can't really see anything at all. Got to really strain my eyes. Crank arm not straight, no bottle cages, no bottles. I feel like this bike is just way overloaded to the front, like too much stuff on the front and not enough stuff on the back. So definitely got the ratio all wrong. Empty bottle cages here. It's kind of like a fake cage. I feel like unless he's taking a break to drink and take his photos at the same time, where's this bottle? I want to know. I have no idea where it is. I couldn't imagine having a big bottle like this and trying to take photos at the same time. Could be easy, like holding it under your arm. But yeah, I feel like you should move some of this stuff to the back, otherwise his steering's not going to be that good. Could definitely move this bag here and this sleeping mat to the back, because I feel like he's not going to use his sleeping mat all the time. unless he just sleeps right here. Gonna roast you for your chainstay protector being a little bit crazy here. I feel like it looks like an animal kind of just wrapped the chainstay. It's kind of crazy. Bag overload, big bag here, another bag here, and I do like the suspension seat post with the Brook saddle. I think that looks pretty cool. Yeah, cables seem a little bit long on the front here. I feel like these reflectors are kind of tacky, but maybe they're helpful. And then fenders are good, but yeah, definitely way front loaded, way too heavy front loaded. Need the back. This stand also looks pretty sick. I can't see it, but it looks pretty tack, which suits his bike. But yeah, overall it looks pretty sick. Looks like a pretty hardcore bike packing or touring bike. I feel like, yeah, again, like you can move so much stuff to the back, run some panners, and it'll steer way better. All right, that's it. Nice bike. Thanks, Ma. All right, next up is Carol or Carol. Carlos. All right, so it's spelled differently in the subject, but he said roast. So first roast, gotta wait for your massive images to download. All right, they're downloaded. All right, thanks for the inspiration. Yeah, appreciate it, Carlos. Thanks for watching. Sending you my creation. All right, so it's just like an old bike, old family bike that he redone. He said, the advantage, unlike my other bikes, with this design, you don't even need to lock it when you leave it here. The downside is that my wife said there's absolutely no way she's going anywhere with me on this thing. That's pretty funny. All right. Oh man, it doesn't look that bad. I feel like it still looks pretty good. It's not like terrible bike. Like it's almost the same as these other two. So yeah, I don't know what the problem is. So this is before, after basic cleaning, and then this is after. Oh yeah, I finally get what your wife is saying. So yeah, your wife is definitely right. Like I wouldn't be caught dead seeing you with this bike, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to do with this, but yeah, definitely a good way to kind of repel people from you. Fresh tires, so this is obviously his choice with the cables as well. Quite a cool little stem here. I do like this stem. I feel like this is like a cool old downhill stem, which is pretty sick. Got to call it out, just as usual. No crank arms not straight, no bottle cages, no bottles. Yeah, this is a pretty funky bike overall. He's right. If someone steals this, you can definitely be able to find it for sure. But yeah, that's a good deterrent. Super good deterrent. Overall, if you like the colors, that's pretty sick. But yeah, sometimes people like them, sometimes people don't. But yeah, I probably wouldn't ride this myself. But yeah, if you like it, then yeah, go right ahead. All right, thanks, Carlos. Thanks for sending. Looks pretty fun. Looks like you have a good sense of humor. So yeah, keep it up. Cheers. All right, next up is Sam. Sam says, roast my bike. Could you say it's monsoon season in the video, please? It would be swag. All right, it's monsoon season. All right, roast up from Sam. Cheers, Sam. All right, first picture is close up of a Rolls saddle. I'm not sure why this is. Maybe he had a hard time getting a Rolls saddle, so he really wanted to flex it. But yeah, kind of all patinaed out. Could use a little bit of clean. This rivet is busting as well. Seen better days. The rows could need a little bit more work there. Another close-up pic, so you can't see the bike, but he's using another broken, looks like a broken rear fender here, so that's an issue. And he's got a thumb shifter on a down tube, so you can already see this is going to be a pretty funky bike. It's a step through bike with some crazy hypercolor, and he's trying to do mods on this already, so let's take a look. Next pic, another close-up pic. I don't know what this is, to be honest. Some kind of accessory thing. Or is this a Lego? I feel like this is a toy. He strapped a toy to his bike. Keep your toys at home, Sam. This has been said before already. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, here's the front of the bike. Got some disgusting hand tape here. This has definitely seen better days. Tape coming off. This is kind of disgusting. I feel like you would probably catch a disease riding on this bike, putting your hands on there and sitting on this saddle. Front rack not straight. Cute little pic here. Cute little sticker. Okay, couple of points there. Back for that. Alright, here's the bike. Alright, overall pretty sick. Like, from the photos, the close-up photos, I thought it was going to look a lot worse than it is, but it definitely looks way cooler. Crank arm not straight, no bottom bottle cage, bent bottle cage. I do like the riding setup. It looks pretty sick here. I'd say saddle tilted too far down. Front rack looks good. Needs something on the rack though. Cable, re-cable here looks a little bit funky. Not sure what's going on there, but maybe has a close-up pic of it. Yeah, but stance looks cool. This is why he said it's monsoon season. That's funny. Oh, mongoose stem to match the mongoose bike. Almost. It's a rally, but you can almost say this is mongoose. Bars have seen better days. Zip tie, not cut off flush. And yeah, that's pretty it. Overall, a sick paint job though for this bike. I think it's pretty cool. Kind of like a Mad Max apocalyptic kind of vibe for this bike, which is pretty sick. Like the fatter tires on there as well. Cool. Looks pretty sick. Thanks, Sam. Thanks for sending. All right, next up is Austin. Hey, Gary, long time listener, first time caller. So everyone's feeling more comfortable to send in their bikes now, which is good. In his subject, he still said review or roast, so maybe he's still a little bit scared, but let's see. Love your video. Do your thing. Sloth. Thanks, Sloth. All right. Okay. Overall, pretty sick. I like the photo aesthetic. It's kind of like a 35mm shot that's completely out of focus. And then it's got his crank arm not straight. No bottle in bottle cages. Illegal bottle position here because it'll break your back or break your arms trying to reach back. Cables are too long here. This looks like a nice little pic. Like out on this road. This road looks nice. But you can see the type of guy that that Sloth is you know, he's kind of embarrassed because I feel like he was kind of half in taking this photo, and then he got scared by these two people watching him, or unless these are his friends also riding bikes, and he's like, oh, can you guys just like stand off a bit in the background or stand away, and then I can take a photo of my bike. But then he got embarrassed because they're actually watching him, and then yeah, way to ruin a ride, having your friends wait while you take a bike photo. All right, front action shot looks good. Another 35mm type of shot, looks overexposed though. And yeah, color, needs some color grading, but not too bad. And then he sent 2 bikes. So this is usually illegal, sending 2 bikes at once, but let's take a look. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, overall, I would say for this bike, the reach is this bike is called the backbreaker. I feel like there's no way someone can ride this comfortably. This is pro torture, this bike. Yeah, offset wheels, offset tires, this old style pedal that he probably took off this bike and then put on this one because he ran out of pedals. He does have his crank arm straight here and bottle cage, so I give him that for this one. Yeah, type of mixed up. I feel like he used like a lot of these parts of this bike and put on this bike because it's, yeah, all these parts are like super old. Got some rock shocks on the front. Yeah, pretty funky build. Never seen shifters mounted like this before. I feel like this has got to be a waste of some shifters. Back shot here. Alright. That's it. Alright, overall not too bad. Pretty sick. Alright, thanks for sending, Sloth. Appreciate it. Alright, another one. Alright, so you sent another one, so we just looked at it. Alright, next up is Andre, and Andre says roast. Love your content, roast away, Andre. Alright, here it is, roast away. First up, this is just getting like way too easy. It's like almost every bike is, it has these things wrong, even though I say it in every video. I'm pretty sure like you guys are sick of me hearing me say it, but still you're seeing the photos. Quick release on the wrong side. This is quite bad. Feel like you should not be able to buy Simwork tires if you run your quick release lever like this. Overall, I'd say it is a classy build. I like the green with the tan. That's the only time tan works. Nice, got some nice spaces here. Rack looks good. Basket looks good. Looks a little bit bent, but I think that's from the camera distortion. Nice little Suntour shifter here. Cockpit looks clean. I like these levers. Nice little cargo net thingo. Nice pedals as well. These are Simwork bubbly pedals, bubble pedals or whatever. Got a roast you for this. Sent from iPhone again. You know this is an iPhone user. Just by the bike and just with the tires as well. But yeah, overall pretty sick. Not too much to roast on this one. I think looks pretty good. Just a quick release. That's very illegal. So just fix that up and you should be good. Same with this side actually. 2 times. Alright, thanks Andre. Alright, next up is An. An says second time submitting. Yep, that's good as long as you don't send it 2 times in a row. I think that's okay now. And yeah, if you want to contact him, he just does some type of food service and here's his cell number if you need it. Alright, so Arn says this is his Bridgestone. Yeah, did some work to it. Alright, overall pretty sick. Second time sending, crank arm is not straight, bottle is in bottle cage, so I give him that. I feel like red grips don't really match this bike, kinda a little bit out of nowhere for this one. Rear cassette could use a clean, chain could use a clean as well. Quick release in the right position, nice job on that one. Alright, more close up pics. Cable here is bent and cable N out of place color again. For these two, I feel like these two, you're running the cables a little bit short, so if anything goes wrong, you won't have room to kind of adjust it. But yeah, you can always cut your housing a little shorter, I think. Here's a little back shot. I like the down tube shifters. I think they're cool. Nice little bell here. Front shot looks good. Simwork bars on these. These bars are actually pretty cool, I think. Nice little sweep to them. Front shot. Feel like this is a bit suspect having your cable directly horizontal out from the bike. Feel like that's got to be annoying. So yeah, got to fix that up. Close up of the saddle. Not too much to it. Seat post looks clean, no marks, which is rare. I feel like that's pretty good. Ritchie rims. This old typeface looks cool, all faded and stuff. Close up of the drive train. Pretty dirty. Looks pretty worn. Gonna need a new front ring soon. Look at that. That's no good. Center with the front rack. Is this new front rack? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's... Yeah, so front rack. Gonna roast you for having too many positions on your front rack. That's just... too much metal, too much useless metal there. It looks cool though. It's kind of like a Setmar rack. Forgot what it's called. Bell Messenger rack. Yeah, it looks cool otherwise. Pretty sweet. Thanks for sending on. Nice one. No body cage. Alright, next up is Simon. Simon says, thanks for great content. You're at least partly to blame for me taking on this project. Thanks dude. Thanks Simon. Alright, so did it up and then just wants a bike review. Alright, overall pretty sick. Crank arm not straight. Rack not straight. I feel like you can straighten those things up. Look pretty cool. I do like the closer yin bar position, make it a bit more comfy. That's good. Tan Wars actually that doesn't look that bad with dark blue as well, so I feel like that's all right. Looks like the drivetrain looks pretty new, so that's pretty cool. Front little pick looks good. Cable length looks pretty good. QR on the right side. Back shot. Yeah, overall pretty good. I like it. At least the photos are crisp. They look a little bit like dark, but at least they're crisp photos. Yeah, nice job. Looks like you cleaned this up pretty well. Frame looks good. Wheels look good. Drivetrain looks good. Nice. Nice one, Simon. Thanks for sending. All right, next up is Gil or Giles. That's probably Giles, right? All right, I'm not sure why all the photos are taking long to load up today, but they are. But yeah, here it is. Feel free to roast or review as you see fit. All right, let's take a look. All right, first roast, bad photo, can't see it. Another bad photo, can't see it. All right, slightly better photo. Okay, no bottle cages, same old. Brake cable here too long. I feel like you could trim that down. Yeah, seems kind of unfinished. Rear mech cable, very long here as well. Need to trim that off. Illegal gold chain. Take that off, replace it. Illegal grips, take those off, replace it. Yeah, other than that, it looks pretty clean. Looks fast, looks like a fast bike. Looks light with the 700C, and riding position looks pretty decent too. Saddle is slammed all the way back. Another shot. All right, yeah, overall not too bad. Looks like a fun little commuter. I feel like it'd be a fast bike. Nice one. Thanks for sending, Giles. All right, next up is Simon, another Simon. And Nishiki instead roast. All right, roasting you, another alien bike. I feel like these bars is out of control here. Roasting you for grip shift. Roasting you for this lever where you had probably like a thumb clicky lever, but then you took it off and went with the grip shift. I feel like that's just poking fun now. No bone bottle cage. QR on the wrong side. I do like these tan wars, the light tan wars. I feel like they look pretty good. Upgraded salmon pads. So yeah, it's such a funky bike. It looks like it did a bit of work to it with some nice upgrades, but then some very poor choices as well. So gonna have to suss that out. Maybe it's just like super tall. This chain tensioner looks pretty cool, all silver. The gear ratio, compact crank gear ratio looks alright. I feel like this is definitely a cruiser bike. It looks quite small, the gearing. Either that or the bike is just like gigantic. These almost look like 24s, like a 24-inch wheel bike looking at this. Bit of a freak bike. I feel like, Simon, you must be really tall. Yeah, here it is. He recycles as well, so good man, good for that. Saddle looks a little tilted back. But yeah, a little bit of a freak bike show here. But yeah, thanks for sending, Simon. Cheers. Alright, next up is Paul and just wants a review, and yeah, most of the components are too crusty to be used again. Cheers from Scotland. Cheers, Paul. He asked for a review, so I can only just highlight this. There's not much I can say. Alright, overall pretty sick. I like how the bike is in the kitchen, so it's kind of like a fresh, super fresh build here. Nice upgrade on tires, nice drivetrain upgrade, new cassette, looks good. The minimal red tones. Feel like you could do a bit of work in this section. Looks a little bit funky, and maybe a different non-gutted seat post. But yeah, overall not too bad. You can see upgrade the skewers as well. Nice little touches of customization there. But yeah, overall looks pretty good. Just kind of like a get around bike. Looks pretty fun. I like how the grips match the frame as well. Alright, nice one. Thanks, Paul. Alright, next up is Luke, and he said, roast. What up, Gary? I'm emailing on this on behalf of my wife. She wants a roast. Thanks for the videos, Luke and Georgia. Alright, roasting your wife's bike. So first roast, just your wife doesn't know how to use email. That's got to be the first roast. Pretty sure she could have sent it herself, unless you kind of pressured her into sending it, which is a roast itself. Love the videos, but hate putting bottles in bottle cages. Crank arm is straight though, and you do have one bottle in here, which is pretty good. I feel like the bike is probably slightly too big for your wife, because the saddle is slammed all the way forward, and yeah, just the riding position, I feel like it could hurt your knees a little bit. Empty basket here, empty rack, missing side on the other side of the basket, quick release pointing down and not horizontal. Drivetrain dirty again, chain dirty. These cranks are crazy, these old school cranks. Let's see what else we got. Okay, a little front pick. Running the friction shifter, I think that's pretty cool. A little bit of customization here with the different colors. Got a nice little bell here. This background is pretty cool too, like on the waterfront. Pretty nice. I like the grey Aoi grips. I feel like these are being popular lately. Turbo records. Feel like this is a little bit too kind of self-serving, trying to show off that you love listening to records and just not MP3s like the rest of us. Here's the other side of the bike. I like the stand. I do like how when you flip the bike, you still made the cranks horizontal, so definitely respect for that. I like your little neon bands here. Yeah, a little bit of mixed match everywhere. I feel like your spokes are a bit dirty, but yeah, not too bad. Cool little saddlebag here, leopard print saddlebag. And even this bottle is pretty cool, some designer bottle. Mr. Lucky, your wife's bike is called Mr. Lucky. Alright, that's basically it. Yeah, overall not too bad, pretty sick. Yeah, not too much to roast it. I just feel like the frame size might be a little big, but if it works for you, it works for you. Alright, thanks Luke, thanks Georgia. That's basically it. Hope you liked it. If you sent in, I'll get to it soon. We got a bunch more this time. I feel like more people are sending in now. So yeah, people seem to like it. Hope you like it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!